Okay, so I want to talk about some painting 101 and gun setup and what all these little knobs on the gun are for and how to use them. So this particular gun is a mini gun, and I wouldn't need a full-size gun to paint a small project like this. This gun does just fine the way it is, and in fact it has a really fine tip, so you get a really fine pattern and you'll be able to get a glass appearance straight out of the gun like that. But what I want to talk about is changing your setup on the fly for when you want to paint inside areas like this. There's no way to get inside there without changing your gun setup. So I want to help you understand what you do when you have to change it real quick. Changing to spray underneath something like this fender, or underneath like this fender, you have to change the gun setup. So I'm going to go over that with you. Okay, so I don't have a cameraman right now because it's like -6 outside and it's midnight and I just got off work and I'm having a beer and I'm just demonstrating. So anyways, got this gun. I got it set up for 22, 23 PSI. That's what I like to shoot this gun at. What I would normally do is adjust it at the wall. I'd walk over to the regulator and I would adjust it down to where as soon as I pull that trigger full, it's down to that pressure, that PSI. Right now it's adjusted up. And I'm gonna adjust it down so everybody gets the right idea. Okay, I got my air adjusted down at the wall, so you can see now it's at 30. Pull the trigger, drops down to 22. That's what you want. You don't want to have this gauge sitting over here at 70, and then when you pull the trigger, it jumps down to 22, because that'll give you a splurt, or it'll give you a pattern that you don't want. So you want to have it as close as possible to the pressure that you want to be using. So adjust it at the wall. But anyways, adjusting on the fly. So let's say I want to spray underneath this fender here, and this type of pattern that I'm going to get out of this gun, which would be a fan pattern, it's really not going to work. I'm going to need a stream. So what I like to do is immediately adjust my fan pattern in all the way to get a stream, to get that stream. So then I like to back my pressure off, because your pressure's changed when you adjust your fan. But then I'll drop my pressure down to somewhere in the ballpark of half, 10. That's a good pressure to use with this particular gun. So now I've got a stream, but I've also got low pressure. But now I got to adjust my fluid down a little bit. Right now my fluid's all the way open, because that's what you want. You want to start out with wide open fluid. Right now it's open, but if I used it like that, I'd get runs. So I'm going to adjust my fluid in a little bit. Probably go, 2 turns, 2 full turns, try it out. That's better. Maybe a little bit more. That's even better. So now I'd be able to get this up inside of this fender and kind of spot spray my paint. It really did help out for doing up inside the big fender, and then again inside here where you can't get anything in there. So, but I was able to paint that in there with no runs. And that's just adjusting your gun on the fly. Now, let's say you want to put it back, you just reverse exactly what you did. Pull your fluid out, pull your fan all the way out. Now you got to pull your pressure back up. This little gun, I like to use this little gun when I'm using clear coats at like 23, and it has a perfect fan pattern. And then I had a guy tell me that this gun was a piece of shit. Believe that. Not the gun, it's the guy using it. This gun laid down this paint and clear coat. My son actually sprayed the base coats, and he did an amazing job, and especially with the metallics. But anyways, these HVLP guns, if you run the pressure up a little bit higher than what they're supposed to be at, what the manufacturer's book calls for, you'll actually get a better smoother texture finish. I mean, you will get some orange peel on your horizontal flat surfaces, or excuse me, vertical. You know, you get a little. I got a little bit of orange peel on this, but still nice. Like I said, the black came out awesome. Everything came out good. This color is a pagan gold. It's a pretty badass color. This bike, so this little bike belongs to a guy that restores Honda Trail 90s and CT 90s. That's what this is. I think this is a CT 90. I don't know. I know that I wrecked one once when I was a kid. Everyone wrecks a bike once, right? He has a bunch of these. And this one has been gone through engine, transmission, wiring's been rewired. So it's been restored short of the custom color that we put on it. And he wanted this one custom, so we got her custom. Okay, one last thing we should talk about. Setting up the project that you're painting, especially when it comes to metallics. Now, you want to position the pieces as if they're sitting on the bike or the car. So you see I've got the frame sitting there like it should be sitting as it's sitting on the ground. The tank is sitting at the level that it's going to be sitting on the bike. The front fender is sitting at a level close to or relevant to what it's going to be sitting on the bike. Fork tube covers, they're upright. The triple tree is upright. And all those other pieces are going to be horizontal. So the reason why you do this is because you want your metallics to lay down all the same, so that when the sunlight hits it, everything looks uniform. Everything flows, it looks good. If you were to try to do this with a car, you would want those pieces to be exactly where they're going to be on the car. If you painted a fender of, let's say, the 47, if I was to paint a fender laying horizontally, laying flat on some sawhorses or something, or some paint stands, and the rest of it was sitting how it normally sits, the two colors are going to flip-flop, and it's not going to look like a good match. It's another 101 painting tip when it comes to metallics. You definitely want to have everything sitting the way that it's going to be sitting on the car or the bike. Now, the exception of this, swing arm. Obviously, it's supposed to be sitting like this. But I don't think it's going to matter too much on this particular build. And I don't think that the paint's going to flip or flop too much. It might. If it does, I'll call myself out on it.